This is Andy Beeds, the commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion, and you're listening to the Escape Pod Cast. This show was recorded in front of a live studio audience. All right, where's the record button so I can do this message? Yeah, I don't see it. Hold on.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
Admiral Piett has arrived to the holotables.
We break down the kit and the developer insight in our first segment.
Moments after Admiral Piett's arrival, news of 2 new Galactic Legends arrived on the forums as well.
Jedi Master Luke and Sith Eternal Emperor will be the next 2 Galactic Legends.
Are they good for the game or are they bad?
What does their announcement mean for the game and the community?
We give our thoughts and talk about the announced requirements in the second segment.
And I'm sure Neil is going to brush them off because they're not his legends.
Well, first off...
save it for the show.
We break off the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes path with this week's incoming transmission.
Yes, Neil wants to introduce us to a cosplayer friend of his who goes by Cryptid Bartender.
Yes, she loves all things Star Wars and cosplay and even has the Twitter handle, Rebel Scum Han.
And on the bridge, we say a proper farewell to the co-creator of the show, Scotty Mclaren.
Make an official announcement about an upcoming event.
And of course, answer the questions of the week in Patreon's Choice.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 81 of the Escape Podcast. I am your host, Neil Andrew, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, how you doing, buddy? Apart from being flustered.
Other than being flustered because I forgot to change the whole go live notification, so half the world thinks this is about Lego Legacy Heroes Unboxed right now.
Yeah, but we can get that in the edit. The people watching this on YouTube will be none the wiser, apart from the fact that we just told them.
That's okay.
So you could have kept it quiet and they would have never known.
I admit my faults. So I'm doing okay. We're excited about this week, or at least I'm excited about this week because we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I know. It's nice. It's always a good week when there's a full news week, and we have a full news week.
And Rancor Fodder says, I want my Lego. Okay, go to the YouTube channel. It premiered yesterday.
There you go. See?
So if you're here for Lego, you're at the wrong podcast. Sorry that you got the incorrect notification. It's already up on YouTube.
It is. But we've got more important things to talk about.
We do. I'm going to start out with a content update that came out. Admiral Piett, the fast-rising Imperial officer and beneficiary of the Empire's most notorious field promotion, is headed to the holotables after being assigned to Darth Vader's flagship, the Executor, which he honestly should honestly come to the game now, piloted by him. Piett dutifully served as captain under the pompous and half-witted leadership of Admiral Ozzel. However, Piett's fortunes would be forever changed as Ozzel's dismissal took some air out of the room. Leaving Piett in command. Admiral Piett's versatility allows him to lead a squad of Imperial troopers or bring more firepower to an Empire squad. as an ally with strong synergies for the newly reworked Darth Vader. Piett introduces a new debuff, Inevitable Failure, that takes advantage of an ally's eventual downfall by making Piett more powerful over time. Piett dared not fail Vader. As such, his astute, cunning tactics will become a welcome addition to any Empire squad. So, in the notes, we're just going to mention it. The news that they put out was Galactic Legends, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, JML as some people are calling it, or Jamal, and Sith Eternal Emperor, or C, were revealed. They also mentioned that we will be getting double drops starting tomorrow. Cantina battle nodes, double drops.
That is so awesome. That means I'm going to get my Snowlow on both my accounts. So happy with that.
And September 5th, Fleet battle nodes. Too bad I just finished Grief and Mando this past week. On 9/12, light side battle nodes. On 9/19, mod battle nodes. And on 9/26, dark side battle nodes. Galactic Legends character shards cannot be earned from these nodes. I think they meant event tokens.
Yeah.
They released the September calendar and announced that the daily login character will be IG-88.
Mm-hmm.
So let's really quick, before we get into Piett and all that, IG-88, what do you think that could mean?
It's got to be IG-11 from The Mandalorian. Got to be. I
think you're on the right track, but I don't think it's IG-11. I don't think we're going to see Queel. I do not think that we're going to see IG-11 in this game. We already have Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum. We already have an older Ahsoka Tano. If you saw the Mandalorian Season 2 picture that's leaking around, you also see Bo-Katan, and you also see a older Rex. My thoughts is that we're going to get Bo-Katan. I think Bounty Hunter is all that IG-88 is saying. I think we're going to get Bo-Katan as a character release, that we will need Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum and the 3 Mando characters, Cara, Grief, and Mando. And there's your 5. With a addition of Bo-Katan as people like to say, the money grab.
Okay, so what would her? I mean, what would her faction tag be? Would her faction tag be Bounty Hunter? Or would she? Would she be neutral? I mean, I don't. I mean, here's the thing: if they are going to bring her into the game, I mean, wouldn't it make sense to know what her role's going to be in Mando Season 2, which we're not going to find out until October anyway?
We're not, but
I mean, it would make sense that she's going to be a bounty hunter. It would make sense that she's going to be a bounty hunter in Mandalorian armor, but I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking forward to I've forgotten her name. I've forgotten the actress's name now. I'm just looking forward to her playing that role.
Stackhouse?
What?
Was it Katie Stackhouse?
Katie Sackhoff. Katie Sackhoff. I mean, see, I loved her in 24, but it was Battlestar Galactica. It was BSG where she won me. And the thing is, I really didn't like her portrayal initially, but it took like a couple of seasons for her as Starbuck to grow on me. But then you saw all of the interlinking stories with, Admiral Adala's son, and that, I just thought, they haven't just done a carbon copy and replaced the male actor that portrayed him. I just thought she was great in that. I really, really loved Katie Sackhoff as Starbuck.
We're gonna see, but that's where my chips fall on the if IG-88 actually means anything, that's what it means.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going for, I'm going down the route of, I think it's an indication of that we're going to get. I mean, we're going to get IG-11 and Coil. Right. I mean, I would prefer. I mean, but months and months ago, me and Thaddeus speculated that they would rework the Ugnaught and IG-86 to be those two characters. But
I remember that
they're not gonna make. They're gonna make more money by introducing them as marquee characters. And then people would buy the packs, in order to get them to 7 stars.
Bodhi says that Mando is the solo movie characters. It's a distraction from the real Panic Farm, which is going to be the Galactic Legends that we're going to talk about in the second segment, or it's going to be the second come around Panic Farm of Boss Luke, Jedi Knight Luke, Jackal. Jackal and Jamal.
I haven't decided if I'm going to call this episode 9 Luke Quaid or Snake. Yeah, it's either Quaid or Snake.
We'll definitely get into that. They did a few fixes. No real big bugs, if you will. Fixed a bug where Chewbacca's guard buff would visually persist on Skywalker after leaving cover. Boss Anakin, that is. They fixed an issue on Geonosis Republic Offensive, where a Geonosian brute would not start the encounter with taunt in some scenarios. Boo. Fixed an issue with the Sith Triumvirate Raid Phase 4, where Soothal would only dispel 100 stacks of Bonds of Weakness. They fixed an issue where Vader's Merciless Massacre could allow other allies to target enemies with Merciless Target around taunt effects. And in the Geonosis Offensive Territory Battle, the very offensive one, the light side one, it looks like they buffed 12 and 13 stars. I guess the rewards weren't good enough for the crap they're putting us through. They released the packs. They released the Admiral Piett packs, Core Gear Bundle 2, Core Gear Bundle 3, just your standard pack stuff there. Mm-hmm. And they brought Admiral Piett into the game. Which do you want to go over first, the Insight or the kit?
I'm not fussed. Go over whichever you fancy. I'll follow your click.
All right, I'm going Developer Insight on this one. His synergy suggestions are Emperor Palpatine, Vader, Admiral Thrawn, and Shore Trooper.
I've got 3 of them.
They already talked. They basically said the same thing here. Admiral Piett is a dark side support that can lead the Empire and Imperial Trooper squads. The increased potency that Piett brings to the squad will greatly benefit Empire teams due to their large amount of debuffs. He does do a lot of debuffs. Have you played with him?
Other than in the event itself, no.
Yeah,
I've not played with the 3-star version yet.
Yeah. His kit has some specific anti-light side synergies that lower tenacity and help the squad land even more debuffs. He has a powerful AoE dispel that could shut down counterattacks by applying daze. And he's most probably the least terrified of any officer when Vader's in the room, but his presence motivates Piett to succeed. So, Piett has a unique debuff that applies to his allies' inevitable failure. While this debuff doesn't harm his allies directly, Piett benefits from when the ally is defeated. Imperial Ambition, which applies inevitable failure, also applies marked to the target ally, so essentially makes them taunt. This can be useful to focus the enemy on a squad on a particular unit, even if it's only temporary to keep the key units in your squad alive. Shore Trooper's taunt isn't ready, but you really need to keep the rest of your squad safe from attacks. They hint saying you don't want to target an ally with Imperial Ambition. that you want to survive long term, but you still want a unit that'll take a good number of hits to build up stacks of failure before being defeated. You want the ally with failure to be attacked as much as possible, but you'll need to balance the risk of losing a strong unit with the reward of powering up Piett even more. Piett's stats receive a boost with inevitable failure, but he's still quite effective without an ally dying, so you don't need to focus on losing that unit right away. And finally, the Emperor's Trap is a buff that gives Piett a buff that Piett gives to all allies whenever an Empire unit attacks out of turn. And there's no limit to the amount of Emperor Trap stacks you can have, but they're cleared at the start of the next enemy turn, a non-Empire ally's turn, or at the end of battle. You want to take from inspiration?
Yeah, sure. As part of our continuing celebration of The Empire Strikes Back, we wanted to develop a character that had a memorable presence in the movie, with the bonus of him reappearing in Return of the Jedi. Imperial Ambition and its debuff, Inevitable Failure, are clearly a call-out to when Admiral Ozzel was abruptly replaced as commander of Darth Vader's flagship Executor, giving Piett the command he's always sought. The ability, the Emperor's Trap, was inspired by his role in the Battle of Endor, where he pointed out, "I have my orders from the Emperor himself. He has something special planned for them. We only need to keep them from escaping." His field promotion from Captain to Admiral gave us the idea of using his Imperial Admiral rank badge as his relic. Strategy tips. One way to build up damage is to deny the enemy from taking a turn as long as possible and build up stacks of the Emperor's Trap with an all-Empire squad. Palpatine's leader ability can help keep your squad taking turns and benefits from the increased potency. A full Empire team is important so you don't lose the Emperor's Trap from your own squad taking turns. Careful application of Imperial Ambition will give you a strong advantage even when an ally is defeated. Squad suggestions. Emperor Palpatine, Imperial Ambition, and Marked are considered debuffs which trigger Palpatine's lead. Emperor of the Galactic Empire, and provide his allies with turn meter. Darth Vader. Besides the direct synergy with Piett's kit, the increased potency will help Darth Vader land his many debuffs. Grand Admiral Thrawn. Solid Empire unit in general, but he can also help build up the squad's turn meter with his unique ebb and flow. And Fight Shore Trooper provides his allies with even more turn meter from his unique Stand Guard, as well as a solid Empire tank to soak up damage.
Really quick, thank you very much, Fighting Drunk, for gifting a subscription to a bot, Streamlabs. We appreciate that. While an allied unit can only have, this is the frequently asked questions, or the fuck you. While an allied unit can only have up to 20 stacks of inevitable failure, the bonuses given to Piett can stack if multiple units are defeated when they have inevitable failure. For example, Shore Trooper has 20 stacks when he's defeated, which provide Piett with an additional 100% max health and max protection, 300% offense, and 25% speed. Later in battle, Stormtrooper is defeated with 10 stacks of inevitable failure, which provide Piett with an additional 20% max health and max protection. And therefore that means that Piett would gain an additional 120% max health and max protection, 300% offense, and 25% speed.
That's good. Well, the thing is that his introduction is really, really going to change the way that you mod an Empire squad. Because the potency up that he's going to give means you can give a little potency on Palpatine and Vader and maybe put a little bit more offense or maybe even a little bit more tenacity on them. Because with the extra potency that he's going to give, I mean, just the secondary and the potency mods, you can cut back on those and give a little bit towards a different stat. So he is totally going to change the way people mod their Empire teams, without a doubt.
Yeah, and really quick, the last FAQ is Imperial Ambition can be used on the same ally repeatedly to refresh Marked and add an additional 3 stacks of failure each time. But it can only be on one character at a time. You throw it on somebody else, it's no longer on there. Let's go into the kit. Do you want to start out the kit?
Hang on, just got to click on the link.
I know you're using Twitch to stare down Fort Mort.
Okay.
So we all know that he is a dark side character. He's a support. He is a leader, Empire, and he's also an Imperial trooper. So you want to start with his basic?
I can't find his kit at the moment.
Okay, his basic is intensified firepower. Final text: deal physical damage to target enemy and call another random Empire ally to assist. Allies with inevitable failure are called to assist. So if it randomly selects somebody without inevitable failure, you get 2 assists.
Oh, there. Took its time. It's open now.
Is special 1. Well, I'll read special 1, which is the Imperial Ambition. This is the big one. All allies gain offense up for 2 turns, and Admiral Piett gains stealth for 2 turns. Then inflict marked for 2 turns and 3 stacks of inevitable failure on the target. Other Empire ally until the end of battle, or that ally is defeated. So you can't use this to mark your Enfys Nest. Can't cheat your way there. And remove inevitable failure from all other allies. These debuffs can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. Inevitable failure: gain 1 stack when using an ability or receiving damage. When defeated, grant Admiral Piett, not Grand Admiral Piett, the following bonuses based on the defeated unit's stats till the end of battle. If it just had 1 stack, he gets 5% max health. 10 is 20%, 15 is 50%, 20 is 100%, max health and max protection for 10, 15, and 20. At 15, you also get offense, and at 20, you get 300% offense, plus 25% additional speed on Admiral Piett.
Oh. Can you imagine how much damage he's going to do if he's relicked? I mean, oh my god.
Well, he's going to do a lot of damage with this. Go ahead and tell us this second special 2, which happens to have a Zeta.
Suborbital strike. This is what I was talking about. I just wish they'd put in a cooler graphic. An actual Star Destroyer. But, it's too much to ask from Unity. Okay, final text. Dispel all buffs on light side enemies. So it's a cleanse, which is lovely. Deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict daze for 2 turns. So, yeah, that's sweet. Totally clean them out and take them to the cleaners and put daze on them. Lovely. Allies with inevitable failure gain 2 stacks. If this attack defeats an enemy, inflict fear on all enemies for 1 turn. Fear! So they're going to miss a turn. So not only are you putting daze on them, they're going to miss a turn if you defeat somebody. This is awesome. Oh, obviously, allies then with inevitable failure will gain 5 stacks. This fear can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. Yeah, that's just awesome. That's just
give us his leader. I'll take the next Zeta.
Okay, so leader, zealous commander. Final text: Emperor allies have plus 30% offense and potency. That's good. Light side enemies have minus 30% tenacity and minus 15 speed. When an ally with inevitable failure critically hits an enemy, they gain 1 stack of inevitable failure and defense up for 2 turns. That's a really good one. A minus 30% tenacity and a minus 15 speed.
You get minus tenacity and minus speed on the
light side enemies. Light side enemies.
Light side enemies, yes. So you take it in against a full light side squad.
I wonder what. I really do wonder what this would do to a Padme squad.
And his unique, the Emperor's Trap, is a Zeta ability. Admiral Piett has plus 60% counter chance. Piett gains 5% turn meter whenever another Empire ally takes damage. And whenever an Empire ally begins a turn or attacks out of turn, all Empire allies gain a stack of the Emperor's Trap until the start of the next enemy turn or non-Empire ally's turn or the end of battle. If Darth Vader is an ally, Darth Vader and Admiral Piett have 20% plus 20% accuracy, potency, and tenacity. And the Emperor's Trap is 6% offense and potency per stack.
Yeah, you so don't need to put potency on Vader. You can all those potency mods, just take them off, replace them with some extra offense or crit damage or anything but potency. Yeah, nice kit. It's a very nice kit.
So what are we thinking regarding?
No, he's a good character. He's a nice character. I think.
Do you think that what their recommendations of Palp, Vader, Thrawn, and Shore Trooper, or are you thinking an entire non-used in the Palp squad Imperial Trooper team?
I think. Well, the thing is,
or does he steal from?
Viz is still going to be, the boss leader for the Imperial troopers. Even with the ability for Snow Trooper to keep going with the AOEs, especially with the up in potency. You know what? I think. I'm sure that the theory crafters will be working hard on this. There's no way that Ian isn't. There's no way that it's just Ian isn't maxing out on this straight away. And it wouldn't surprise me if Klesso has a pop at this character as well.
I really think that we are going to see a Snow Trooper under Piett. I really do, because that's just going to power up everybody else.
What about the what's that Imperial Trooper from the Han Solo movie?
Range Trooper.
I think
also another one.
Because the Range Trooper does call for an assist, and obviously the more Imperial Troopers that you've got in that have a special or that can do something that creates a situation where another Empire character is taking a turn out of turn. That ticks the mechanic for Piett over and grants more stacks, so he could be quite useful as well, because his special calls an opponent to assist and gives protection up, doesn't he?
First impression, how many Empire symbols out of 5 are you giving Admiral Piett in what you think's going to happen?
Well, from an Empire point of view, it's a 4 out of 5. For what he offers someone that free to play, 3 stars, gear 11, I'd say 4 out of 5. I don't know if it will go to 5 out of 5. I said the person to ask, really, the person who to ask is Arnold.
That would be true.
The Grand Admiral. There's no doubt in the back of my mind. He will have maxed him out immediately, because he's Empire.
Yeah, Arnold, do some work. Come talk to us.
Yes,
we'd love to talk to you about Piett.
Yeah, we would love to talk to you about Piett, Grand Admiral. I know you outrank him, but he's still going to be useful. You're still going to use him, and we'd love to know your thoughts, because he's one of your guys, isn't he? One of your supporters.
All right. So one thing that we do know about Piett is that he will be released on an abbreviated schedule in order to be farmable for the release of what we're going to be talking about in just a moment. Galactic Legends, Sith Eternal Emperor, or C. Admiral Piett will be moved to shipments in 3 weeks, and then he will be a farmable node 3 weeks after that. What type of node do you think that it'll be? Let's talk about that coming up after this break right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Podcast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
This is Micaeus, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact contact Micaeus today on Discord, all in lowercase, guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up MicaeusMods@gmail.com. I fully endorse Micaeus Modding Mayhem, and you will too. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways Network.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Podcastaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Podcastaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Air could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Have you been interested in getting items 3D printed but haven't wanted to buy one of those expensive printers? Are you looking for a literally one-of-a-kind tech gift gadget? Evil Genius 3D Printing and Gadgets is your one-stop shop for both of those items. Nerd-owned and Escape Pod approved, put Lenny the Evil Genius to work for you. If you can dream it, he could possibly make it. Contact Lenny at evilgenius3dprinting@gmail.com for more information. That's evilgenius3dprinting@gmail.com. Get something unique in your hands.
Hey, I'm Andy Beads.
Hey, I'm Danish Wobble. Hey, I'm Ando. Hey, I'm Jake.
I'm Bringer of Death.
Jake Johnson TX.
I'm Ramby2307.
Spartan Z here.
I am Mr. Jacobachi.
Star Wars Galaxy of the Yeti.
I'm Player Gaming Embers.
I'm Lazy Turtle.
I'm Mudbum.
I mean, come on. They already know me. I'm the bloody co-host.
And we are part of
the GAC Chain Gang.
We're a group of streamers who stream our Grand Arena on Twitch and continue the chain
into the next streamer.
We have all types of accounts for you to enjoy, from the big whales to the
small accounts.
But we're all here to provide entertainment
and have a good time.
The Grand Arena Chain Gang is proud to be part
of the Escape Pod Castaways Content Creator Network. Stop by and see them, won't you?
The Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the show. It's segment 2, and it's time to talk Galactic Legends, or the new Galactic Legends. Here we go.
Well, first off, we do. You and I were talking about our Grand Arena Championships. We are in what CG is calling Season 10. I know you call it Season
11. Everybody knows it's 11 except for them.
So just going to go over the feats really quick. The feats for this time around are gain retribution 50 times, gain foresight 50 times, win a battle using Qui-Gon, Kenobi, General Anakin Skywalker, Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker, and Ahsoka Tano. Just put that under a Padme lead and go to town. The Old Guard win a Grand Arena battle using Bastilla Shan, Jedi Knight Revan, Jolie Bindu, and Juhani. Forcefully win a Grand Arena battle using Fisto, Luminara, and Eth Koth. Yeah. This is where the fun begins. Win a Fleet Arena battle with Anakin's ETA Starfighter. Forceful Rebellion win a Grand Arena battle with Obi-Wan, Old Ben, Kanan, and Ezra. That will get you a title. And then Grand Arena battles on your own on first attempts, undersized victories. The Force is with me, and I'm with the Force. Grand Arena battle time with Trit and Baze. You will get Guardian of the Wills as your title. That's one that I know a lot of people are going to want to go after.
Oh, that is nice. Guardian of the Wills. I like that. I'm not going to be able to get it.
Look at you geeking out for a feat.
I don't have base on any of my 4 accounts, so it's a shame I'm not going to be able to go for that title.
Commanding presence, defeat 12 enemy units in Grand Arena with Jedi who were generals. The council will act as they deem necessary. Defeat 12 enemy units in Grand Arena with members of the Jedi High Council. Yoda, Mace Windu, Plo Koon, Ki-Adi Mundi, Eth Koth, Shaak Ti, General Kenobi, Kit Fisto, and Anakin Skywalker. Note that it was not Jedi Masters, because they did not grant the rank of Master to Anakin Skywalker.
There you go.
And that completes that. All right. We've been teasing it.
Galactic
Let's go ahead and talk about it. Jamal and C. Sith Eternal Emperor and Jedi Master Luke Skywalker.
I think I'm going to go with Snake.
What? Okay. What? I don't get these. What are you talking about?
Okay, Quaid, the character from Arnold Schwarzenegger character from Total Recall, and Snake Plissken, the character from Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Now, Quaid, because in the movie Total Recall, you see Quaid has a hologram of himself, and he walks out, and all of the bad guys are looking at him, and they all shoot at him, thinking that they've killed him, but it's not. It's not really him. It's a hologram, a la, Luke at the end of episode 9, and Snake Plissken, because they do the exact same trick in that movie. Snake Plissken walks out into the clearing, all of the bad guys are there with their weapons all trained on him, and they all start firing, and then it's like, he's like doubles over, and then he stands up, and it's just a hologram. So that scene from episode 9 had been done before in 2 other movies. So that's why I'm saying either Snake Plissken, or Quaid, and I think Snake sounds better. So,
well, staying within non outside franchises, I'm still calling Jedi Master Luke Jamal.
Mm-hmm. Call him what you like.
So transform your ultimate roster with these Galactic Legends in their ultimate forms. Which path will you choose to lead your squad to victory? Both new units can be viewed in the journey guide prior to their release and will be featuring a similar power level as Rey and Kylo. The first group of requirements are available below and will be in the journey guide after the update this week. The requirements for both of the characters will be released periodically like before, but within a shorter time frame. We'll be announcing the next requirements roughly every 2 weeks. So at least we have something to talk about every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on the forums or stay tuned right here to the Escape Podcast for Sith Eternal Emperor and Jedi Master Luke Skywalker news, and fulfill your destiny with 2 of the galaxy's most powerful icons. Oh, they're only icons. They're not characters. Yeah. It's just an icon.
Please be trash. Please be trash. not the Galactic Legends, the 15 characters you need for the Galactic Legends. That's what I'm praying for. See, I'm really happy. I thought that the next Galactic Legends were going to be GR era, Clone Wars era. I genuinely thought that, it would be like a Mace Windu and then a Separatist general. Because I initially thought it was going to be a Luke and a Palpatine or a Luke and a Vader, but then they did the reworks and they brought out, JKL on their own. So, doing that.
Right. You were right with Luke and Vader.
Yeah.
You were right with Luke and Palpatine.
Yeah, I was right. Yeah, but I wasn't expecting the sequel trilogy Luke and the sequel trilogy Palpatine. I mean, I'm fine. I mean, I won't be going for them. I'm just not interested. But I'm happy and overjoyed that they're coming to the game, because it means, by the time I'm actually going for gas on my main account, I'm never going to have to worry about fighting a GL, because everybody who I'm going to be competing against is going to have such a top-heavy GP that there's no way on God's green earth I'm ever going to get match made against someone with a GL, because another 30 characters that are going to need to be relicked is going to put such a huge amount of GP on those top 80 characters. So, I can literally just slow time, work my way through the various different older metas, building up squads and never have to worry about facing somebody other than, Darth Revens, Padmes, and gas teams.
Let's touch on this quickly. Biscuit Weasel asks, and even though it's not a 4th segment question, I'm going to ask because I know a lot of people are curious because of your passion for this. How is your Jackal roster farming
My
going?
Snolo is ready to go to gear 12 plus 4. Here, gear-wise, the crosses are sat there. He is currently sat at 89 of 100. And that's on my main account.
And double drops tomorrow.
Exactly. So double drops tomorrow, he's a sure thing. Because I've got a nice little crystal nest egg. So I will be refreshing until I've got him, and then I'm going to use the rest of the refreshes 12 hours later to, get some relic materials, in the kitty, just in case.
Let's talk about what we know from the Jedi Master Luke Skywalker requirements in the beginning. Mon Mothma, recently released character. 3PO and Chewie, once again, a recently released character. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Old Ben at Relic 5. And then Rey Jedi Training at Relic 7. Now, the Rey Jedi Training is an overlap from...
Which is nice. Which is definitely good for people that are going to fight. That's very convenient, which is nice. It's convenient for those that have farmed GL Rey.
Yeah,
not so good for people that farm Slacker.
And C-3PO Relic 5. I wanted to get my Rey. Funny story here. I wanted to get my Rey at least to be able to go against as fast as possible Bosks. So I did relic my Rey early before even GLs were put out there. So my Rey is already at 3. We'll see.
Yeah. When you think about it, the stick Rey for this Luke, there's going to be one of the Kylos is going to be there for the other Palpatine. So those that want to go for Palpatine, there's going to be a couple of prerequisites of a relic level nature on first order characters that people have probably already got. So it was good that they didn't just make it 15 characters that you will not necessarily already have at a relic level. There's going to be
let's look at this. Mon Mothma relic. Doesn't matter the relic because we'd still have to get them to 7 stars anyway. Mon Mothma looks to be really good under Chase, Pow, and Cara Dune. 3PO and Chewie.
Yeah, Chewie we know is good.
Neil, earlier this week, I tested out using CLS with Raid Han and regular Chewie, and I do have a 7-star Chupio, and then regular 3PO. I am killing Padme squads. With this.
Yeah.
I have a Padme counter finally.
Nice one. I'm happy for you.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Old Ben. He is a good replacement in a JKR squad when you pull Kenobi for Padme, right?
Yeah.
So
and obviously he's good in a JKL squad as well.
Yeah. And Rey Jedi Training. I mean, that's simple. She's good.
She's going to be
C-3PO at Relic 5. I'm neither disappointed or upset about that.
Well, no, because most people will have already gone for JKL. If not, they're already So you've got to have him at Relic 3 for JKL anyway. So taking him up another 2 relics, it's not like you've got to really, really farm for his gear. And, if he's sat at 12 or sat at 11 with a couple of Zetas on, you were eventually going to take him to 3 for JKL anyway. Yeah. So
I totally missed this before we get into Sith Eternal Emperor. Thank you, Hadriel Jetberg, for the follow in the first segment.
Hey!
All right.
Friend.
Excellent. All right, so let's talk about the Emperor. Admiral Piett, we just talked about that. 3 weeks to 3 weeks. So 6 weeks from yesterday, we should see Piett. By the way, that to me also says we're going to get a content update in 6 weeks from now. Royal Guard at Relic 3. That's not a bad relic for a backup Empire team. Darth Vader at Relic 7, it's a monster. Palpatine at Relic 7, same thing with Kylo. Director Krennic, that is the stinker in my opinion.
Yeah, that is a bit of a stinker. That is because yeah, sure. I mean, when he first, when he came out with a bunch of other Rogue One characters that they advised going in a team with him, but most people use Shore Trooper and they use Death Trooper in other squads, which kind of it shoved Krennic to one side. It really did shove Krennic to one side as a leader, because most people do use Shore Trooper and and Death Trooper in other Empire and other Imperial squads. So most people are probably just sitting on a Gear 10, a Gear 10 or 11 Krennic. So yeah, it's going to hurt having to gear him up.
He's Gear 9 right now.
I think I've got him at 10 on the on my Merc account. He's the only account that I bothered on because I went dark side on the Merc account. So, right. But I mean, I'm not going for it anyway. So,
they did release. By the way, the event calendar. We already talked about this. They did put in the 1 week break in between GACs.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the good news on that. Yep. But I do want to point out, I can't find the break. I cannot find where they're going to drop something big. So this is going to be this next month is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what? There is one advantage. There is one big glaring advantage when you think about it to a Relic 4 Krennic. It's going to make his ship good.
Krennic has a ship?
Doesn't he have a shuttle?
I don't think he did.
Isn't Krennic crew on a shuttle with Death Troopers?
I don't remember.
Am I getting the Royal Guard mixed up with Emperor Palpatine's shuttle?
I think you're getting the Royal Guard mixed up.
Yeah, but Royal Guard at Relic 3 is going to make Emperor Palpatine's shuttle, boss as hell.
Yeah.
Also, it's Death Trooper and Shore Trooper on the on that shuttle from Rogue One, isn't it?
Okay, I really got to look it up now. You're making me go into the game in the middle of a show, sir.
Not my fault. Zaz confirmed it. It is Death Trooper and Shore Trooper, not Death Trooper. I initially thought it was Death Trooper and Krennic. It's not. It's Death Trooper and Shore Trooper.
But Emperor's Shuttle, remember what I said about Emperor's Shuttle? That ship itself is a monster, especially when paired with the Sith Bomber.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be an even bigger for anybody that's going for this Episode 3 Palpatine. Then yeah, that ship is going to be pretty damn good. If you're having to Relic 3 your Royal Guard, because your Palpatine's going to be Relic 7. So yeah, that is going to be a boss ship on an Empire team. Especially if they bring out the Executor. Oof. They've got to bring out the Executor now. They have to.
There has been confusion, and this was the last thing, and then we're going to talk about whether or not this is actually good for the game for 10 minutes. There is something else that we don't know about for Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. So it looks like they're going to release another light side character that you are going to need to farm for it, because 15 of the 14 requirements are on the screen, but there shows 15 question marks, and they did confirm there are 15 units required for Jamal.
R2 will be in there. I think R2 and BB-8 will be in there. Because if you remember, those two droids were required to complete. They were both required to complete the map in order to find Luke. So it would make sense. That's very true.
But what I'm pointing out is that they haven't named a character, or they don't have it named in the quests because it is unreleased. So there's a farm just like Piett. I'm speculating we get that next week.
Okay. Well, are you not going to speculate on who the character is?
I think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be Zori Bliss.
You think it's going to be Zori Bliss?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose
so. Anyway, Galactic Legends, 9 months after the first Galactic Legends. Is this good for the game or is this bad for the game?
Well, it's going to be great for me because I'm not going for them. So I'm happy because I'm not going for them. So I'm really, really happy. I'm overjoyed because, like I said, it's 15 characters on each side that people are going to have to take to Relic. It's going to totally fluff people's GP. I'm never going to have to face a GL in GAC, which is great. So I'm happy.
Unless somebody hyper focuses for one.
Yeah, but if someone hyper focuses for one buy, then I'm going to have I will have a counter for their one GL.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there'll be
have
4
JKL,
to choose from.
You know, once I've got JKL and I've got my Malik, I'm going straight for gas. And then once I've got gas, it's going to be sticking with what I've got and then taking squads to higher relic levels, you know, making sure that each squad has got the right number of relic characters in and relic levels. I mean, I'm never wasting my time on any of these GLs ever, but I will make sure that I've got sufficiently enough relic characters to counter the 1 or 2 relics that I might face against people that go, you know, hyper focused on, you know, 1 GL. So yeah, I'm happy. I don't suspect there's a lot of people out there that will be happy, especially since, you know, they've just got over the fatigue. I mean, we have lots of people who we cover in the GA Center Leagues who have just, you know, have only recently just got their second GLs, and it's like, you know, a weight's been lifted off their shoulder, and now all of a sudden, here comes the next meta, and the next meta is another 2 GLs. And for some people, it literally took them months and months and months just to get the first 2, and now, you know, they know what it was like to go through that. They might not want to go through that again. So,
see, I see it similar to what you're seeing it, because you're going to have these people that their top 80, or in this case, essentially their top, let's say that there's a few shared, their top 25 are going to be ultra pumped up. And then they're also going to have the gas meta. They're also going to have the Padme meta. They're also going to have Darth Revan and all those skyrocketed up. Mm-hmm. So those who like to collect and not pump all these teams up, like myself, are going to see similar collectors. This, to me, is not the end of the game. This is not the end of the world.
It's just a new era.
For those who do collect, those who do wail out on them, they're keeping the game going for people like Neil, for people like Helenix, for people like Zaz, you know, free to play accounts, people like Bus.
Yeah. So, I'm just, yeah, you know, it's another 2 GLs. We knew that there were another 2 GLs coming. I mean, I suppose the only disappointment that I have is that, you know, they seem to be ultra focused on making all these GL sequel trilogy characters. I mean, it'd be nice to have a couple of GLs that are prequel, or a couple of GLs that are original trilogy, but they seem to be putting all their proverbial GL eggs in one basket, and that seems to be the sequel trilogy. So I mean, it'd be nice if they went for a different era, but
yes, I agree.
Can't see it.
The fact that it was the same sequel trilogy era did rub me a little bit the wrong way, but it is what it is, and I have a theory on that. But I do want to acknowledge that JJ Manners wants Babu Frick.
Yeah, I mean, from a business point of view, I mean, there are more people clamoring for a Mace Windu, an OP Mace Windu. They would have made more money doing a GL Mace Windu with maybe a trace, general trace from the separate, they would have made so much more money from that as a GL than from sequel trilogy characters.
They would have made money from one person, and his name's Rambam.
Not just there are some serious Clone Wars era Star Wars fans out there that have gone OTT on the Clone Wars before they've gone OTT on sequel trilogy characters or original trilogy characters.
Okay, so let's really quick talk about the fact why is there a possibility that they're rushing out a second set of sequel trilogy? We only have like 4 minutes before we have to take a break. But why are they doing that? There has been rumors about them retconning the timeline.
No, it's not a retcon. It's just removing from canon.
It's not removing from canon. It still happened, but it was cut off.
It's bad roboting.
Yeah, but nonetheless,
it's doing a Jar Jar Abrams basically. It's creating a separate timeline so that they can start again.
But the original still happened.
I mean, the sequel trilogy still happened, but in a different timeline.
Right. So
it's not a retcon per se. The rumors are that it's what all they're doing is resetting the timeline from Return of the Jedi onwards, which would allow the TV series of Mandalorian and the upcoming Ezra and Thrawn TV show that is apparently going to kick off as well.
I hadn't heard about that, but that makes me excited.
It would give them a lot more creative leeway moving forward, season after season after season after season, if they don't always have to look to the sequel trilogy to make things fit. By removing that from the timeline and having that as a separate timeline, it would just allow everything that Lucasfilm is doing now and plan to do now in the now, the 5-year period after Return of the Jedi. It would just give them a lot more it would just give Favreau and Filoni a lot more creative freedom, and it will give the new directors of the new shows a lot more creative freedom moving forward, because all they'll have to do is tie in with each other's TV shows from a timeline point of view and tie in with any new movies that they make.
Yeah, and that, of course, is just a rumor from other YouTubers.
Yes, it is 100% pure rumor. But I do have a lot of faith in Doomcock Rumors, because all of the rumors that he had given to him by his Lucasfilm insiders regarding Episode 9 were 90 to 95% accurate. So,
all right. So we are going to take a break. There you go. There's our take on Galactic Legends. Not the end of the world, but it sadly was the end of the world for another content creator. We'll get into that in the fourth segment. But Neil, do you want to talk this up, and then I'll throw it to the break?
No.
You have a guest that you brought.
We have a guest. The guest for the incoming transmission is a friend of mine. I think you're going to enjoy. Especially what she's wearing. Don't
put it that way.
Stick with us.
Don't put it that way. All right, guys. Coming up after this break, Neil's guest. It's not Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but it is a welcome break from the craziness that was this week in news right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Are you a member of Team Paul or Team Neil? Maybe you prefer story time with the llama, or dabble in the buttery side of the Force with Biscuit Weasel. Or maybe you like the Escape Pod talents from Down Under like Heinzie and Scotty. No matter who you support, you can get one of my designs from the Escape Podcast merch store. Just go to escapepodcastaways.com, click on the merch link, and it will take you to the TeePublic site where you can support me, Mrs. Anthony, also known as Critty K. Also be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast's Discord server weekly to vote for my latest shirts in the Design Derby on Woot. Links for both of these are down below. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod cast.
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
The Escape Pod cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Padawans, and welcome back to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids. This week it is the second to last episode of Faction Facts. I can't believe we've already been through 21 episodes. This is episode 22, and after today, we'll only have one faction left in the game. Let's dive right into the Sith faction. Now, there are 6 remaining characters that have the Sith tag that I have not already talked about. Some of the other ones that I've already talked about include Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Darth Revan, Darth Malak. They all also have the Sith tag, but I covered them in their other unique faction tags. Now, the 6 remaining characters include Darth Traya, who's available in the heroic difficulty of the Sith Triumvirate raid, Darth Sion, who's available on Fleet Hard Node 4D and Lightside Hard Node 9A, Darth Nihilus, who's available on Darkside Hard Node 9A, Darth Nihilus is available on Darkside Hard Node 9A, Savage Opress in the Squad Arena store, Darth Sidious also in the Squad Arena store, and last but certainly not least is Darth Maul, who's available in the Fleet Arena store and in the Guild store. Now, all of these Sith characters have leadership abilities, but Darth Sion. I'm only going to cover the best one, and that is Darth Traya's leader, Compassion is Weakness. Under her leadership ability, Sith allies have plus 40% crit avoidance and plus 40% potency. Now, when a debuffed enemy takes damage, all Sith allies will recover 10% health. When an enemy uses an ability out of turn, they take damage equal to 35% of their max health. Now, this can't defeat enemies, but it's super useful in whittling down their health, especially when it's a stronger team that does a lot of assists. Now, also under her leadership ability, when enemies gain a buff outside of their turn, they lose 50% offense until the end of their next turn. Now, like I said, she is going to be your most used Sith leader when you're talking strictly about the Sith faction, and she's especially good with Sion and Nihilus because the 3 of them complete the Sith Triumvirate. Now, uses for this team are going to include defense in GAC and offense in TW and GAC. You could use it in offense in TW, but most guilds don't because there are a lot of other teams that are much better on offense. You can also use this team for combat missions and territory battles. If your guild is doing Hoth TB, 100% put this team in, they're going to be great. Geonosian TB, it's a little hot and cold. They're really going to have to be fairly high relict to be able to have success. Now, they are hard counters for Jango-led bounty hunters, Shakti clones, Ewoks, Padme Galactic Republic, Geonosians, Imperial troopers, Bastilla-led Jedi, Talzin or Asajj Night Sisters, Old Republic, or JTR Resistance. They're soft counters for Revan-led Jedi teams, CLS Rebels, General Grievous droids, Newt-led Separatists, and Darth Revan's Sith Empire without Malak. You're not going to have much success if it's a Darth Revan team with Malak, so if you want to use them, make sure that the Darth Revan team does not have Malak on it. Now, the Sith Triumvirate team can be countered by CLS Rebels, Revan-led Jedi, Palpatine-led Empire teams, and Kylo Ren Unmasked First Order teams. Like I mentioned in the beginning, next week is our final episode of Faction Facts, and I will be covering a very well-requested team. It's a smaller faction, but the Tuskens are coming at ya. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more story time with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids.
This is Micaeus, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord, all in lowercase guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up MicaeusMods@gmail.com. I fully endorse Micaeus Modding Mayhem, and you will too. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways Network.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back into this incoming transmission, segment 3 of the Escape Podcast. And normally this is where Neil would talk and then throw over to me for an intro. But because this is Neil's guest, Neil, intro.
Our guest tonight may not play Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but she is a Star Wars fan. Her handle on Twitter is Rebel Scum Han. So, doesn't get any more Star Wars fanny than that. She is a cosplayer as well as a bartending instructor, known as the Cryptid Bartender. She's a fellow anarchist. Welcome to the show, Harley. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
So, why don't you enlighten everybody in the chat as to the character you are currently cosplaying?
It's just Maya from Borderlands 2.
Yes.
Yeah, Paul, you would like that. So, is this one of your favorite ones to do, or how much detail did you go into regarding the costume?
I typically only do each cosplay I do like once per con. So this is actually only the second time I've done it. I mean, it was one of my favorite ones to make, but I try to get as detailed as possible. I'm fairly noob to it, honestly. But this was definitely one of the more complicated ones that I have made. I put a lot of effort into it.
Now, is that real dye, or are you wigging this one?
No, it's real dye.
So, and dedication to the cosplay profession.
I do have to give props to the cell shading makeup. That is amazingly done.
I mean, it doesn't feel like a Borderlands cosplay without it, to be honest. Like, that's such a signature, like, part of the game series itself. Like, why would you not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I absolutely. Now, are you huge into the? I'm gonna kind of ask you about Borderlands here because, from what I understand, you also do love Borderlands, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So. How far have you played and this includes pre-sequel?
Okay, so pre-sequel, I haven't played it, but that's because I watched the whole thing be played. And then I played all through Borderlands 2, the DLC and everything. I've played a couple nights worth, maybe about 4 or 5 hours of Borderlands 3, but I haven't really gotten super far into it.
Okay, so I can't spoil anything in 3.
I wouldn't be offended if you did. I don't really care much about spoilers, in all honesty. I end up hearing something somewhere eventually anyway, so it's like whatever.
You are playing Maya, who has a very, very big part in 3. So you see her in 2. She is in 3. I'm going to spoil. You're going to see Maya in 3.
I knew that. Yeah.
But you're playing Borderlands. You're cosplaying as Borderlands 2, Maya.
Yes.
So let's talk Borderlands 2 because that's the one that you said you've done inside and out. Of the 4 originals, we could tell that Maya is your favorite. What about the DLC characters?
I think Gage is pretty cool, to be honest. I haven't really played her, but I think she's pretty neat. Trying to think of who else I've played as, because I started another game, but it's been so long I don't remember who else I started as.
So there was for me it was Krieg. Playing as a psycho that has joined the Vault Hunters was
he's a lot of fun for sure. And I know his DLC just got announced for 3 too, so.
So for number 3, I didn't catch up on that yet. It's been
yeah, they announced it 2 days ago or something.
Yeah, Gamescom. Okay, that's awesome. I will definitely look forward to seeing Krieg again in Borderlands 3. But we didn't bring you here to talk all Borderlands. I'm sure that Neil has some additional questions for you. If I think of some along the way, I'll chip in here. But Neil, this is you wanted to tell the world about Harley here.
Yes. So I've got in a slideshow just off to your left. They'll be seeing there's some of the images that you sent of you in various different cosplays. There's one of you as obviously as Maya. There's one of you as Poison Ivy. The Poison Ivy. The Poison Ivy one was great. When did you do the Poison Ivy cosplay? What convention did you do that one for?
It's not Poison Ivy. That was a very common misconception.
Oh, right, okay.
That.
Oh, no, I thought too.
I thought it was Poison Ivy. I like DC. I just assumed it was Poison Ivy.
A lot of people did, to be honest. That was a very common misconception. It was actually supposed to be the Great Fairy from Majora's Mask. And then my kids were Link and Tattle. So that was, I'm going to say 3 years ago, I believe, is when I did that one. That one was a very simple one to do, but also not, because I hand sewed every single flippin' leaf on the outfit, and it took hours. It took so long.
And was it a wig or was it dyed?
Yeah, that was a wig.
That was a wig that time, was it?
Yeah. That was before I was actually dyeing my hair crazy colors. Back then I just had a natural looking red or blonde or something.
So that's and another one of the other ones is Han. You're actually cosplaying Han. So when did you do what convention did you do? It wasn't a celebration by any chance, was it?
That one is actually not a convention. That one is actually for my work. Yeah, I'm a movie theater bartender. And so when the last Star Wars movie came out, we had permission. Only the bartenders had permission to dress up as any Star Wars character they wanted until the end of December. So I look at my manager, I'm like, seal it right now. You promise me that's allowed. And he's like, yeah. So I full on went Han Solo. I even have them make me a name tag and everything that said Han on it and all. And I did that for the whole month of December.
So you literally got to dress up as a Star Wars character and go to work for a solid month.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that sounds like it was so much fun. Did everybody? So were you the only Han, or were there a bunch of other people dressed up as Han?
No, it was just me.
It was just you.
Me. Yeah.
So obviously 2020's been will have probably been a bit of a washout for you regarding conventions and cosplay. So you won't have got to do any of the cosplay at the conventions that you normally would have attended this year. So how many conventions have you kind of missed out on this year so far?
Typically I only do the one in Phoenix because that's our big main state one. So usually I just do one a year. I was possibly going to do the Tucson one this year, but both of them have been canceled, so they're not happening.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. What? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, I was going to say, so you mentioned the pictures, Neil. So I went back and I looked at the pictures again because I wanted to make it out the Great Fairy because it was a close-up shot. You have a picture with Adam Savage.
Yes.
How did what was that meeting like? Did you Tell me about that, because Adam is one of my bucket list meet and greets that I want to do.
He was actually doing a book signing and meet and greet, and you go there. I think it was fairly cheap, honestly, compared to a lot of other guests, and then you get a free signed copy of his book and a photo with him. And he was very friendly. It was actually kind of funny because they were trying to, there's somebody else taking the photo. They'll take your camera or your phone and they'll take the picture for you. And then you have it on your camera or your phone. And the girl could not figure out how to use my camera. And so she was trying like over and over and over again. And it was just not taking. So I just kept like, oh no, I'm so sorry. You've got to hug me longer. And he just was like, kept like cracking up and stuff as I'm just like being cheesy as hell. But he was really sweet. He was like really complimenting my cosplay a lot. But so yeah, it was a pretty cool experience.
That's awesome. Did you get to ask him any of the questions about trying things at home or?
No, I didn't do that. It was a sold out thing. It was a pretty busy line. Yeah. So we kind of had to like hurry up. I mean, he still took time to like hear, if there was a fan just, oh my God, over him, he'd still take time to give hugs and do a quick little chat, I mean, it's not like he was just like, okay, hurry up and go, he was really nice to everybody.
That's awesome.
What was your costume for that one?
I missed out. I was in the queue for the meet and greet tickets when they did the Don't Try This at Home tour, and it came up Dallas. I went up to Dallas. I got to see the live show before they closed up shop. That was fun. That was absolute fun. Of all the meet and greets that you've done, what has been your favorite and then to bring this back into the cosplay discussion, what were you cosplaying at that time?
That's tough to, honestly, I've been to so many cons and I've had so many meet and greets now. That's kind of tough to narrow it down to just one. A really, really standout one for me was definitely Jess Harnell. He's a voice actor for like Wacko and Animaniacs and just like tons of different voices. Yeah. That one was actually my very first time.
Not Dan Paulson, though.
What's that?
Not Dan Paulson.
Oh, Rob Paulson? No. Funny.
That's twice I've done wrong names today, Nev.
I have not met him yet. He was actually supposed to show up there, but that was when, not too long after he was diagnosed with, I believe it was throat cancer. So he actually had to cancel his visit there, unfortunately. But he's on Twitter too, and he's really, really sweet. We've interacted multiple times and all, but anyway, but yeah, so Jess Harnell is definitely a standout one. That one was actually my very first time cosplaying. And that one, I don't know, some people might know this one. No one seemed to recognize who I was, honestly. And it was a really big family thing with like my brothers. They all wanted to cosplay from the anime One Piece. And I didn't really have anybody in particular. I desperately wanted to cosplay, so I kind of just settled on Jewelry Bonnie, and nobody really like knew who I was, honestly. But I mean,
gotcha.
It was my first time, and I put a lot of effort into it, and overall came out pretty good. So no regrets.
So what's been your favorite cosplay from all of the conventions that you've ever done?
Probably. Okay, I'm going to say probably the Maya one, just because it was more fun to put together. But
you felt more satisfaction from the amount of time and effort that you put into the costume.
I think so, because I mean, I did everything. Like, I actually did have a wig at the time that was like cut and sculpted to the hairstyle. I did the makeup. I mean, I did the whole jumpsuit and like painted it and everything. I did the pants and the boots, like everything. I went all out on that.
Wow. So how many hours did you actually physically put into making the costume? Do you know how long it took you off the top of your head to actually make the costume?
It probably took a good, with all the painting and heat setting and everything. I mean, it took like all in all a good like 3 weeks or so to complete.
From start to finish?
Yeah.
Have you ever had to have you ever finished a costume and thought, I'm not quite sure, and then just do you start again from scratch, or is there a way for you to kind of like roll something back and then tweak a few things here and there to make something better with the costume?
It really depends on what the piece was. For some things, I might have to start over. Other things I can just alter, like the one that I'm wearing in the Adam Savage photo. You can't see in that photo, but it was like a full-on like pinup looking top that I completely sewed myself by hand. And I didn't really get the size right. I actually made it too big. And so I had to alter it several times because I didn't really, this was after I lost a ton of weight. So I didn't really know what size I was supposed to be. And so I had to go back and like resize it over and over and over again until it fit okay.
You had to keep bringing it in at the sides, did you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
But you got it right in the end.
Eventually. That's why I hate making clothing, though.
So how long did it take to rework it until you were 100% satisfied with the costume? I guess what I'm trying to get at regarding your cosplay is, how meticulous are you in getting it just right and not just thinking it's all right, I'll go, as opposed to no, it's not right. I am not wearing this at an event or at a convention until it's absolutely correct.
If it's totally wrong, totally off, I will not use it. I will just start over if I have to. If it's a little off, but it's also like the best to my abilities, and then at that point I just kind of go, okay, I need to work on others. Because keep in mind too, I also make the ones for my kids. I only have so much time I can really work with, So yeah, it's like, okay, you can tell what it is. It's not terrible. This is the best I can do right now. I'll deal with it and I'll improve it later on if I want to resurrect this one.
So I am going to now take a guess. If you're Maya, you said you have 2 kids? Yes. So I'm guessing the complimentary costumes were Claptrap and a midget psycho.
No, they didn't do Borderlands ones that year. They were actually Corbin and Leeloo Dallas from The Fifth Element.
Oh, please tell me that one's old enough to say multipass.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they honestly got way more attention than I did. Like, because you go to cons and people will stop you and ask you for photos and stuff. And I had that a bit. They were getting stopped like left and right constantly. People just could not get enough of it.
Is it easier to make the kids cosplay costumes than it is to make your own?
Sometimes I do kind of cheat. Like when my son was Link, I did just buy his costume because I kind of have to pick my battles, And with my daughter, I made her a full-on sparkly yellow dress, like from scratch and everything, and made the wings, and I made like the hair pieces and everything. But that was fairly easy overall, just because there wasn't all the painting like on mine. So I mean, overall, I'd say the kids are a lot easier, but they have been more time-consuming sometimes.
Oh,
it's not easy. It's just more steps.
Yeah. What's been the most detailed? And I imagine the more detailed it is, the more time consuming it is. So what's been the hardest, the most challenging, time consuming costume that you've made for yourself or for the kids?
I'd say the most challenging was probably either the Maya one or my very first one, because I had to cut and alter a pair of shorts and paint them up. I had to actually paint and dye like a pair of socks in a very specific pattern you can't just buy anywhere. I actually made a hat from scratch and everything. I went all into that, and that was my very first one. So it was an entirely new learning experience for me. As far as time goes, probably the Great Fairy one. Just
is that because of the individual leaves that required? So what was the base for that then? Was it was it one of those body suits, and then you would sew the leaves on and cut out and disregard the areas where the leaves weren't? So how did you go about doing that one?
I actually had a nude bodysuit underneath because I wasn't really comfortable showing skin at the time. And then I actually bought just a top green velvet, bra and undie set that I then bought fake ivy leaves and cut them all off individually and then hand sewed those all on. And then I had to separate the wig hair and style it into 3 different parts and get the ivy all in the hair.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I had to wrap ivy all around myself and get it all around like my boots and everything. Like it took a lot, and then all the makeup to do every day at the con. Like it took a lot of time.
So for me, you know, I totally get this because I've cosplayed Two-Face, I've cosplayed Joker, I've also cosplayed Doc Brown from Back to the Future. You know, I've done those fun things. I'm currently trying to get an Emperor Palpatine 501st approved cosplay going. That's the little project in the background. But for we are getting close to wrapping up here. For somebody that wants to cosplay, that wants to head down this road, I know the credo. But what would you recommend to somebody that said, Harley, I want to cosplay? Where do I start?
I would say start with a character that you just really, really love and appreciate. Don't worry too much about, can I pull it off? Can I look like the character? Like most people just realistically don't. And also don't be afraid to take little shortcuts if you can. I know it's like glamorous and amazing to be able to say, yeah, I made everything from scratch. But if you're brand new to this and you're trying to make everything from scratch, it may look easy. It may you might watch all the tutorials and go, oh, I can do that. It's going to be overwhelming. It takes a lot more time than you'd expect. So if you can, find simple way, go to Goodwill, go to thrift stores and find cheap little things you can alter instead of making it from scratch. Tutorials, watch as many tutorials as you can, especially if there's makeup ones. It's okay to cheat a bit. You don't have to compare to all the big shots that are starting from everything from scratch. Do not overwhelm yourself.
I gotta admit,
it's not fun.
When I did my Two-Face cosplay, I literally found two suits, the same size, same manufacturer, and cut that suit coat and pants in half and used the sewing machine. It was excellent.
Exactly. If you can make it easy, just make it easy on yourself.
I have cosplayed once before. It wasn't it was at a party. It was a Rocky Horror theme party. You guess which character I dressed up as? Oh yes, I did Frankenfurter.
Oh, that's not cosplay. That's just going to Rocky Horror on a Saturday.
Hey, it's still a costume. I still had to, put the stuff on. And I can sing that song off by heart because, you can't dress as Frankenfurter and not sing, I'm just a sweet transvestite. Can you now, really?
Yeah, well, we can't afford the royalty, so we'll have to do that in the after show.
Yes. No, we won't be doing that in the after show. I'm not singing that in the after show. Everyone will laugh.
Well, everybody probably laughed when you wore the cosplay. Because it's fun.
No, it doesn't matter because when you go to a Rocky Horror theme party, there's like 24 other people dressed as Frankenfurter. If it was just me on my own, then yeah. Maybe I'd have been a little bit self-conscious that I was the only dude standing in, high heels and stockings and suspenders.
How many riffraffs were there, though?
There were only two.
See?
And only one of them had the proper bald cap with the hair coming down the sides. Yes. So
Harley, how do people find you? And do you have any cause that you're currently supporting?
I don't have any specific causes that I'm currently supporting, really. I kind of just go around, float around and see what I, help a little bit here and there. As far as finding me goes, if any of you are interested in the Cryptid Bartender stuff, that is actually where I make my own cocktail recipes that are all based off of different cryptids, monsters, aliens, etc. And you can find me on Facebook as the Cryptid Bartender or on Instagram if you use that instead.
All right. Neil, anything else before I send off this wonderful guest? Thank you for introducing her to our me and to our listeners.
We talked about it earlier on in the week, and it was great to have you on. And I really, really appreciate you coming on. And thanks for
no problem.
Thanks for dressing up as Maya and showing everybody your skill and talent as a cosplayer.
Yes.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me on.
Definitely skill and talent. Guys, coming up after this break, we are going to go to the bridge. We have 2 announcements and then all of the Patreon's choice questions. If you have the channel points, you can redeem them now to get additional questions in if you are not a Patreon. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Harley, thank you for showing up today. It was an absolute pleasure. Guys, stick around. We'll see you back after these messages right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
This is Micaeus, and I assure your privacy and confidentiality when using my remodding services.
G'day legends, this is Heinzie. Did you know Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier modding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will remod your roster from top to bottom with continuous consultation with where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and he has tons of additional services available as well, like a full cleanup of your mods, PvP plans, and lots more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord, all in lowercase guys, MIKAYAS 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or hit up MicaeusMods@gmail.com. I fully endorse Micaeus Modding Mayhem, and you will too. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Podcast and the Escape Podcastaways network.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you. Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/the Escape Pod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
Noob.
Not fun.
Noob.
So annoying.
Newbie.
Shh.
Yes.
Here comes. Hello, Lennox. I'm here. Wait.
Utini.
Oh my.
Jawa.
Haha, gotcha, noob. No, put those blasters away. This is my friend, DM Vini. Be nice to my guest, noob. DM Vini, say hello to Newbie. Hello, Vini.
Greetings, hello, Lennox.
You jerk.
Everyone knows droids hate Jawas.
Hey, Newbie.
Yes, Lennox.
Are your circuits in a bunch? Or is it your bikini?
Lennox, I don't understand how you can always be so dang
jovial.
All right, noob, I'll bite. What's wrong this time, noob?
My guildmates aren't taking this game
seriously.
Hang on, noob, hang on. Perhaps you need a drink. Maybe you'd like a martini.
You guys are just
the worst.
Oh, come on, noob. You gotta just let loose sometimes and have fun. I mean, it's what they do in Sato PD.
That was epic.
This isn't
Funny.
Lennox. Listening to you two make bad dad jokes just so you can rhyme with Utini is super.
No, annoying.
Just ask Jackson. He can't stand dad jokes.
Oh, newbie, even Jackson knows that when we do dad jokes for him on B-Weezy's Twitch streams, it's all in good fun, bud. As a matter of fact...
Oh, boy.
Here's a short PSA.
Here we go.
That can help you understand, bud. PSA! This PSA is brought to you by Hellenics. #shameless self-promotion. And the Escape Pod Cast YouTube channel, Twitch stream, and Discord server. SWGOH's most fun place to hang out for all SWGOH players. I mean, it is the home of everyone's favorite droid with a penchant for calamity. Taking Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes way too seriously. What is it? Why is it happening? And who stands to benefit? In this SWGOH PSA, we will explore taking SWGOH way too seriously and the many myths that surround it. Wait, that barely made any sense. Perhaps we should reword this bit? But no. What do you mean it's part of the PSA formula? Alright, man. Sheesh. RN Jesus help us. SWGOH is a game, and games by their very nature are supposed to be fun. According to Watto's Galactic Basic Dictionary, a game is an activity, form of play, pastime, or sport which follows a predetermined set of rules and is decided by luck, skill, or strength, and whose goal is to deliver enjoyment to both participants and spectators alike. While the competitive nature of certain games can cause stresses on its participants, the eventual accomplishments of the game's goals, continual participants' progressions, or even the very act of participating or spectating itself can be a truly fulfilling experience. Many players in the SWGOH gaming community can occasionally forget this fact, and sometimes folks just take this game way too seriously. This can be understandable. Let's not forget that some players have spent small fortunes in this game and don't want to see their money wasted. Others have devoted countless hours to this game and to its community and don't want to see their hard work eroded. Still others are hyper-competitive and can let their desire for victory overwhelm their rational thoughts. However, we must all remember why we started playing SWGOH in the first place. Fill in some time here. What do you mean, fill in some time? What do you mean 42? Oh, don't take it so seriously. Gotcha. Well played. So before you blow a gasket on anything related to this game, consider this. Can there be any other reason, besides having fun, that caused you to originally download this game in the first place? I'm certain that if you think about it for more than a few seconds, you will determine that, no, indeed, having fun is the very reason why you play SWGOH. This has been Hellenics. #shameless self-promotion. For the Hellenics SWGOH YouTube channel, and the Escape Podcast, and SWGOH, and good times, and fun, and the number 42. So, we've been doing these PSAs for a while now, and I just wanted to sit down with you and go over some of my channel metric. Where are you going? Hello? Hey. Typical. So, do you see now, noob? Wasn't that PSA helpful?
That PSA didn't explain anything.
Once again.
Hellenics?
Houdini?
I'm upset because my guildies are missing their
600s.
And our guild is a 30K
or bust.
guild, Holenix.
Wait. What?
Oh, you heard me.
Meatbag.
My guildies are not getting their 600s done. We have to chase them and beg and beg and tag them, and they
Still miss.
Oh, Teeny.
I thought that would get your
attention.
Holenix.
You know what?
Hell?
No. 600s are the first thing you learn to do in SWGOH. Mooching ass join a guild to collect their guild rewards, but can't do their raid tickets? Nah, man. No. I'm gonna go in there and put these dudes on blast. This bull. Go join a casual guild if you don't like it, you dog.
Hey, Jawa, is he gone?
Martini!
Wanna grab a brew? I could use some 5W30 full synthetic.
Martini!
Sure, DMVini, my treat. Well, it'll be Helenix's treat. I have access to a space wallet. Time to make some galactic credits.
Disappear.
Like
Houdini!
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
Hello there, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the fourth and final segment of the show. Paul, over to you.
Yes, guys, this is the fourth segment. If you have any channel points, 10,000 points allows you to ask a question as if you were a Patreon. Anything that you want to ask, we will answer, as long as it's not something that we wouldn't answer to our own mothers. We have a lot of fun little additional announcements as well that we want to do. Are we ready for the first one yet, Neil?
Yeah.
All right. So the first one is
it's huge.
It's huge. That's
it's huge.
The first thing that we want to do, we want to honor, or I want to honor the person who helped me start this. Check out Heinz's YouTube channel for a special interview with Scotty Mclaren. Scotty Mclaren has... We thought that he left the game at the end of episode 30 here, but no. He did come back for a little bit, but this time it's for real. He was not a fan of the new Galactic Legends. I mean, that's his absolute right. That's his absolute right to not be happy about something in game. But it is not the end of Scotty Mclaren. In fact, from what I understand, he and Heinze are going to be doing Scotty Mclaren's Cue the Pop Culture, where he talks about movies, other podcasts, Xbox, PlayStation, cosplay, toys. You see in the bottom right his pictures of his trip to Japan, where he's playing Street Fighter, I think it was, on one of the originals, and a robot concierge that brought him his drinks in Japan. And his episode 1 is The Art of Communication. We don't have an exact time when that podcast will start. I will pass that along in our Discord server, if not also here on the air. But this is my opportunity. This is my chance to thank Scotty for birthing this brainchild with me. Thank you for the Escape Pod cast. And we'll be here when you want a guest spot and talk about your podcast, because we're all things pop culture. The other thing that I want to talk about, do you have that second one ready, Neil?
Oh, yeah.
All right. The second thing is September 19th, right after we finish, right after GAC finishes that day, 5 p.m. Eastern. I will be facing off, and now that one's really, really small. I will be facing off with a crew of fellow castaways, including Fighting Drunk, Geek Girl, Heinzie, the Llama, the Nev, and unfortunately, Biscuit Weasel is tied up, so we will be replacing Biscuit Weasel. But we will be going against Team Vasari Gaming with DB Official, Trashman Terry, PWW Daniel, Sith Lord Fluffy, Jackson Tucker, Contested Art Rico. Some names you should be familiar with. All of these, we're plus more, a cast of dozens. We're going to be facing off against each other in the Creator Cup. Toyota Canada and Hellenics will be moderating the chat, and it all is to benefit World Child Cancer, because no child, no matter where they live in the entire world, should have to deal with the hardships of cancer. They make their way to low-income areas of developed countries, undeveloped countries everywhere, to help children suffering from cancer to be able to make it a lot easier. It, as JJ Manners says, it's an all-star game. It truly is an all-star game. You know what? I might claim Dickie Darkside for the Castaways. What do you think, Neil?
Hey, we don't need ringers because we'll beat them anyway. But, I mean, if you want to throw some ringers in there, yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, we're going to kick their asses at poker.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's start with the points questions today. Four segment questions are from Hellenics. If you were to cosplay, if Hellenics was to cosplay, would he cosplay as Cartoon Helly, or Cartoon Helly? I think that he should cosplay as Lud Baka. Who is that? Tune in next month to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Paranelli says, I'm going to attempt to restart playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes in September, and I'm wondering if I should start with either gearing up Geos or Separatists to Gear 13. What do you say, Neil?
Geos. Go Geos. And the reason
Geos are Separatists.
Go Geos. They are Separatists. Go Geos because you'll be able to go. You go straight for Malevolence. You'll have them relict as crew, and then the 2 droid ships don't need crew. You will thank me when you do it. Do it.
All right. So now let's go to the Patreons only questions. The first questions come from Geek Girl. What kind of secret society would you like to start? A space hippie commune.
Secret society of voluntarists.
If animals can talk, which would be the rudest? Hummingbirds.
Really? I would have gone with pigs.
What is the best type of cheese? The stuff on Doritos.
Stilton. Bugs and mold in perfect harmony.
What mythical creature would improve the world most if it existed? Hippogriff.
Oh. I don't. I mean, is a Jedi Master, a Grand Jedi Master, a mythical creature? Because they could just do battle meditation on the entire world and make everyone feel good, and then there wouldn't be people going around doing shitty things to other people.
Fighting Drunk asks, would you prefer to be too hot or too cold? Too cold.
Yeah, I prefer to be too cold. If you get too hot, there's only you could only take off down to your skin and still be too hot. If you're too cold, you can keep putting things on until you're not too cold.
And that's the exact same reason I say that. All right. Fighting Drunk also asks, if you were a color, what would you be?
Yellow and black.
Royal blue. What is your favorite cartoon aimed at adults?
South Park.
Oh, man.
That's a no-brainer for me. South Park with no contest.
I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to come back to that one.
What about that animated series that was on Geeking Out? Was it the producer or something?
The critic. The critic, yeah, that I guess was aimed at adults. Fighting Drunk wants to know, is cheese just a loaf of milk?
No. Not real cheese. Real cheese has got bugs and it's got mold in it. You know, it's not just milk. You got to put the bugs in the mold in. Where do you think all that blue crap comes from?
If you could make a Dungeons and Dragons adventure group using the people you know from the Escape Pod Castaways, who would you have and what race class would they be? Let's do 3 people. I'm going to say that Geek Girl would be a wood nymph, but she would be a pure wood nymph.
I would be Everfire's one of these things.
I would say that Flair would definitely be a paladin.
Oh, I've just fired my arrow. That was a bit premature of me.
So who's your second? Flair's my paladin.
I would have Flair, but he would be a dwarf.
No. So I've already put Flair as a human paladin.
Okay, I would go with Heinze, and he would be he would be like the little John, like the quarterstaff wielding drunken monk.
All right. So my third one, I'm actually going to go with. I'm going to go with Fighting Drunk. And he's the fighter. He's the brawler because he's fighting drunk. He's the barbarian.
Okay. Who would I go with then? Ooh. I'm not sure who would. I honestly can't. It's not something I can think of off the top of my head.
Have you considered or played World of Warships? If not, would you want to? I played World of Tanks. Was not too impressed. Probably not.
Yeah, no. I tried the World of Tanks and stopped playing after 10 minutes. That's how uninterested I was in that. So, World of Warships, I just wouldn't. Yeah, it's not something that would interest me, to be perfectly honest with you.
What would be the name of the first movie you direct?
Ooh. Oh yeah. No,
you have the list of questions.
It would be Episode 7, Vector Prime, Star Wars Vector Prime, Episode 7. The new.
Do you have access to these questions by chance, Neil?
Hang on a moment. Are they on Discord? Are they?
Yeah, they're on Discord in the questions room. What's the name of a movie that when you hear it makes you giggle like a little schoolboy? Blazing Saddles, because I enjoy it so much.
That is a good one, actually. Hang on a minute. I'm just question. Patreons and subs. Patreons only questions. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, and we are at what?
If you could only choose one, what would be your force power?
Oh, and we already done that one before.
We have done that one. We will skip it. Schnarman, check out last week. How did you and Neil meet and come up with the podcast? Well, we mentioned that it was Scotty that came up with the Scotty and I that came up with it. Was it always about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yes.
I used to do it wasn't story time with the llama. It used to be story time with the Nev.
Yep. And that's how we met. So, do you want to take the next one? I'll be right back. I'm being called away.
Yeah, sure. Okay, okay. Hang on. Okay. That was I wasn't expecting that. Let's just put me right, shall we? There we go. Okay. Right. So, what do sharks and crocodiles teach us about species survival? that it's good if you can, kill and eat everything that's around you. And you have a very, very good chance of surviving millions of years. Be the apex predator. What do you think is in Area 51? The questions are from Master Ugwe of the Purest Green. What do I think is in Area 51? A lot of extremely highly secretive, sensitive tech that the United States government does not want the general public to know about. Is there a spaceship there?
All right, I'm coming
Who
back.
knows? Okay.
All right.
Hang on, I need to resize this again.
Sorry about that. You just answered what do you think is in Area 51?
Yeah.
Secret tech, yeah. Why does Han shoot first? Because he's a badass.
Yeah. Because he's the coolest guy in the galaxy.
Best lightsaber.
Luke's. Green. Green lightsaber's the best.
I think Dooku's lightsaber is actually the best. As far as lightsaber, the hilt and everything. What is the most memorable event you want to see in Mando Season 2? Ezra meet back up with Ahsoka.
For me, it would be the Mando and Boba Fett working together. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm looking forward to.
Tink asks, are you guys answering questions from a forum? We're asking, our Patreons give us questions each week, and we answer them in the final segment each week. Let's see. Do you think there was a financial reason the GLs were released this early? I think we did talk about that. So we're going to skip that one, Buzzsaw. In honor of the release of Bill and Ted 3, if you could kidnap one historical figure and spend the day with them in, let's say, 2019, who would it be and why? George Lucas.
For me, it would be Plato. I would go all the way back to ancient times, and I would ask Plato, did you know that Atlantis existed, or are you just making it all up?
Going Nerdy says, same question, but for 2020. Who would you want to be quarantined with?
I want to be quarantined. Keanu Reeves.
What?
But not Keanu Reeves. It would either be Neo or John Wick. I'd want him to be in character.
That's not a historical figure, though. That themselves is not a historical figure. George Lucas, I pushed the boundaries of a historical figure because he did create Star Wars.
Okay, in that case then, if we're going for a historical figure, let's pick somebody. Let's pick someone interesting, shall we?
If you were if I was being quarantined with somebody, it would be Freud. I'd love for Freud to pick my brain.
I would. No, I'd like to say I'd like to pick someone who's like not nice, so I can just sit there and annoy them forever. Like the scene from Ghost, where Patrick Swayze just sits there and sings "I'm Henry VIII, I am" over and over again to drive Whoopi Goldberg nuts. I would find someone that deserves to be driven insane and then drive them insane.
If you could pick one person from today to warn us about 2020, who would it be and why?
If I could pick one person to what? Sorry, warn us
about 2020, to warn us about all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world today.
George Carlin, because I'd believe him, because he's traveled back in time before to help people out in Bill and Ted.
Keanu Reeves. All right. If you could pick a costume for the other host to wear, these were kind of the cosplay questions here. If you could pick a costume for the other host to wear, who would you choose for each other? Who would I choose for you? I would probably put you in Han Solo. I'd probably put you in Han Solo gear.
I would put you in. I'd put you in a Gandalf costume. Big pointy hat, grey beard down to the floor.
That will not pass. If money was no object, what character would you cosplay?
If money was no object?
If money was no object, what would you do? I would do a functional AT-AT.
That would be very, very. That would be very, very interesting. I would go with a fully perfect 100% replica of C-3PO, because Anthony Daniels is Brit, and I could, I'd sound like him with a robot voice. Oh, goodness gracious me.
All right, that does it for this one. What you got? Let's talk about what we got coming up. So tomorrow and then Monday, you've got GA Center.
Yes. No more quad kybers.
Not GA Center.
GAC.
Chain Gang.
Chain Gang, yeah. So I've got Chain Gang GAC, just doing my main, and if I've got the time, I'll throw in my Horde account. I'm only concentrating on my main account for GA Center and my Horde account because, I've put a lot of time and effort into that. The two middle accounts, I'm going to I'm just going to kind of just play around with them, use them for theory crafting, stuff like that. So I'm really not going for Kyber on those. I'm just concentrating on 2 accounts from now on. Way too much hard work concentrating on 4 accounts. It's just too much.
Yeah. And then Saturday, I'll play something. If I can do some more Minecraft Dungeons with Flair, that'll be fun. Tonight in our Patreon after show, you're going to be doing some poker game.
Oh yes, correct? And we're going to do that over the weekend as well.
Okay,
late on an evening. It's not streaming or anything. We're just going to do some poker. Anybody wants to play can come along. If you're a Patreon or a sub, we'll get you into the club and you can come play.
Yeah. And remember, we have the charity stream coming up September 19th, right after GAC ends. We start and we'll go until GAC, the next round of GAC the following day. Hopefully we'll remember to set our defenses during that 24 hours. But no, I think that does it. If you're a Patreon, come join us in the after show. I'm going to do my GAC attack round and then the whole poker thing. I've got a date night with the wife lined up after, so I won't be there for long, just until I finish editing the show. Anything else, Neil? Anything else that
just going to mention briefly in the chat, the Black Panther actor Chadwick Boseman, from Black Panther and from the MCU. Was it Prince T'Challa? I think it was his character.
He had a 4-year fight with colon cancer.
He's unfortunately lost his fight with cancer, and a great actor.
This is according to Washington Post, TMZ, and Variety as of
and
right
the
now.
and the BBC.
You got the BBC as well.
BBC as well. Yes. So yes, it's always,
AP just confirmed it.
Yeah. It's always sad when an artist, it's sad when anybody is taken before their time. I'm sure that the tributes will be pouring in, and it's a shame, terrible shame. Such a great actor, and my sympathy goes out to his family.
Agreed. Very well said. Kind of sucks to have to say this after that, but please take care of each other. Be nice to each other, damn it. We'll see our Patreons and subs in the after show. And check out, if you did not see it on GA Center, go check out our YouTube channel for our tribute to Urs, who left the game just this past month. Hellenix did a wonderful send-off to that man. And he will always be a friend of the Castaways, and we will always be a supporter of the Hall. That being said, push the button, Neil.
You got it. Ta-ta for now, folks.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuit. Evacuate the southern strike mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.